Good morning, what's going on everybody? It's Coach Jash and I'm gonna hang out just for a minute, go ahead and give people time to log in while I'm gonna get my timer up and running. Perfect. So comment down below, how is everybody doing on this beautiful morning? It's Friday. Let's go. Make sure, so for this workout, what we're gonna need, per usual, your agua. If you want a timer off to the side, or you guys could just go ahead and follow along with me. Today we're going to be doing a full body workout, so we're going to start with a warm-up. We're going to get into some core work. We're going to go through some strengthening exercises, and then we're going to be finishing off with a little bit of cardio/endurance. Also, in addition to needing our water, what else we're going to need, unless you have dumbbells, kettlebells, bands, or other fitness like pieces of equipment like that, we can use some sort of resistance. So what I'm going to be using today is some laundry detergent and some bands to kind of show you guys a little bit of variety, and I also might throw something else in just to show you guys a little bit of variety of what we can use all these various different objects. So laundry detergent, so we got Tide, we got Downy. Which one do you guys prefer? So we're going to be using these a little bit later on, but we're going to get right into the warm-up, and we're going to start off with doing some squats, some toy soldiers, and some quad stretch with toe touch. So I'm going to flip the camera around so this my beautiful chicken scratch, and that date is wrong, never changed the date. So for the warm-up, once again, we're going to be doing the squats, the toy soldiers, quad stretch, plus the toe touch. Moving down to the core, we're going to be doing some shoulder taps, Jayhawks, and Russian twists. Moving down to block 2, we're going to be doing lateral lunge to the press, reverse lunge, calf raises, and then block 3, we're going to have push-ups with the row, kneeling shoulder press, bench press, and finishing off with a little bit of conditioning down here at the bottom. It's going to be the ollie shuffle, the burpees, and the roll-ups. So go ahead, if you guys want to screenshot that, feel free, or if you guys want to pause the video, go ahead, take a second and write that down. All right, beautiful. So we got our water, make sure we got our resistance nearby. So I got these close, and I'm just gonna go ahead and snag my band so that way we have that ready to be rocking and rolling. And once again, you guys could use different kinds of bands. You could use the rope bands like this. If you guys happen to have just like the flat black bands, these will work. And you guys can actually, depending on the resistance level, you guys can make this one work. If you guys have black, green, red, no matter which one, they all do have different levels of resistance. Some of them will say right there on them. So like this one says that it's heavy. This blue one's a little bit easier, so it'll probably say that it's like light or lighter, medium. Yeah, there we go. Just so that way you guys know. So we have everything right at arm's length, and we're gonna get right to the warm-up. So with the warm-up, we're gonna start off with squats, and we're gonna be doing 30 seconds through everything, and then we're gonna have 30 seconds between the rounds, all right? So squats, and let's get it. Getting nice and deep, doesn't have to be super quick. Make sure we're focusing on our form, our technique, feet flat on the ground the whole time, right? Make sure we're not punching, rounding this back forward at all like that. When we're squatting down, we're not coming like this, all right? Just nice deep squats the whole time. Keeping that chest up, 45-degree in the back, right there. If you can get nice and deep, get those hips below those knees, go ahead. We call that ATG, getting nice and low, and perfect. Now we're gonna be getting those toy soldiers right here, keeping that chest up, nice and tall, stretching out those hamstrings. Make sure we keep those knees locked out as much as possible. Nice big kicks. And if you have space to kind of go around and move, feel free. Or if you have to stay stationary like I do, that's perfectly fine as well. And right after this, we're gonna be getting directly into the quad stretch with the toe touch. Right here, so we're gonna grab these top of our foot, hinge over, touch that toe, right? Switch. Grab top of our foot, hinge over at that hip, touch. So remember, once again, similar with these, we want to make sure that we're not hunching, rounding our back like that, right? Keeping that chest out, moving around the axis of our hip, right there, all the way back up. Maintaining perfect posture throughout the entire movement, going down, and once we're all the way back up, just like that. Perfect. And good. So we're going to take a 30-second rest, then we're going to get into the core block. So we're going to cycle through everything together twice, and I want you guys to either pause the video and go ahead and get a second round after we do the first one. That way you're doing the last one with me, or you guys can go ahead and just do it on your own, or just kind of keep letting it play, whatever you guys prefer. So we're gonna start off with some shoulder taps for the core work. And we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1. So we're up here in push-up position, just tapping the opposite shoulder. If you need to modify this, what you can do, make sure you're still moving at home. You guys can drop those knees down. Make sure those hips are forward though, right? So my hips are still forward, my core's engaged, my glutes engaged. So this is one very easy modification. Or if you need to, stay stationary right here. Feel free to go ahead and do that. Just squeeze that core nice and tight. If that is still a little bit easier, you wanna make it a little bit harder, pop up into that push-up position. And good. Next thing we're gonna be moving on to is going to be Jayhawks. And so you could use really any piece of equipment that you have for this. So I'm gonna be using the laundry detergent for the Jayhawks. What we're gonna do, I'm scooting frame. We're gonna sit all the way up tall. Head's gonna come through the window and right back down, just like that. Pretty easy, right? So we got 30 seconds. Let's get it. Make sure these arms are staying locked out. I do prefer that the legs stay straight out. Going up and all the way back down. Full range of motion through that core. And if you guys want to make it a little bit more challenging, all you got to do is grab a little bit more assistance. Boom. Add a little bit more weight. And that's going to make it instantly that much harder, right? So you could do this with a plate, a dumbbell. Just be careful that we're not going to drop it on ourselves. And good. Next thing we have is going to be Russian twist. The way that we're going to be doing Russian twist, we're going to be sit on the ground right here, seated. Legs are up the whole time. And we're going to tap our objects side to side. And we're going to go for 30 seconds. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's get it. There we go. Really rotate that body as far back as possible, every single rotation, right? So this is a great one. So we're gonna be working the rectus abdominis, which is the core, the six-pack that you see. That is gonna be worked isometrically. We're also gonna be working our transverse abdominis. That's mainly gonna be isometric as well. That's what's deep underneath. That's like our main core. And we're also targeting and time. So we got 30 seconds rest before we move on to the next block, which is going to be a strength block. We're also going to be targeting a lot of the obliques. Anytime we're doing any sort of rotational movement, we're going to be targeting the oblique muscles, which are on the side, responsible for any sort of rotation. So for the first strength block, we have lateral lunge to press, reverse lunge, and calf raise. So before the time's up, I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So the lateral lunge to press. Amy, I see you. What's up? Lateral lunge. Press out, back in, and up. And so we'll do each side for 30 seconds. For these reverse lunges, go ahead, keep that resistance, add a little bit more weight. We're gonna step back and come right back up just like that. And for this one, we can go 30 seconds each leg. Calf raise, we'll just stay stationary. Just calf raises like that, all right? So we're gonna get right to it. So lateral lunge with that press. We're gonna be starting in 4, 3, 2, 1, let's get it. And press. There we go. Press it straight out. Make sure we're not getting lazy. And if the resistance that you guys have is too easy, feel free to grab something a little bit heavier. So laundry detergent is great. A gallon of milk. Just make sure it's not out of the fridge too long. So a gallon of water. If you guys got paint laying around, I'm painting my house, so I got a can of paint off to the side. If you guys have a dumbbell, a kettlebell, a plate, a fat cat, anything will work perfect for this exercise. We got a couple more seconds and time. Perfect. And then we're gonna go ahead, do the same thing on the opposite leg. Sitting down on the back of the hip, press out and in, back up. Down and back on the hip, out and in, back up. There we go. If you wanna make it a little bit harder, go a little bit slower right there, right? Get those reps in. Down and back on the hip, drive through that whole entire foot. When we're doing this, we want to make sure that this knee, there's no pressure on this knee going out. All the weight's going down and back and right over that foot and the hip, right? There we go. So as soon as we get done with this, we're going to get right to those reverse lunges. 30 seconds each leg. And let's get it. And also, you guys can very easily challenge yourself. Count how many reps you get each round. And then for the next round, try to just outdo yourself, right? So remember, I want you guys at home, do 3 rounds. So even after we go through all of these blocks, pause the video and do it again, finish up with me, or go ahead and add one at the end. And go ahead and switch sides. Good. Make sure this front foot stays flat the entire time we're doing these, and our chest stays up too. I don't want to see any hunching around in the back like that, all right? Up nice and tall, down and back, drive straight up through that foot, and back up. Drive up, squeeze that glute at the top, and right back down. Perfect. We got less than 10 seconds, and we're gonna be right to those calf raises, all right? 4, 3, 2, 1, and calf raises. Let's get it. So right here, and with calf raises, I like to make sure I'm not going super fast. So what happens is, and make sure you guys are still moving at your own pace. If we move around super fast like this, even when we are at the gym, when we get back to the gym, and we use equipment, calf raise machines, different things like that, or if you guys do donkey calf raises, if we move too fast, our Achilles tendon's gonna take over, and it's gonna start using the stretch rebound effect, and it's gonna take it off, the load off of our muscle. Go ahead and time at home. I'm gonna continue to talk while we got this 30 seconds of rest. If we're bouncing around too fast, our Achilles tendon is gonna take that load, and it's gonna get that stretch recoil effect, right? So that's gonna be taking the tension off the muscle, which is where we want it, so that way we can have that muscle grow. So, next one we got, push-up with row, kneeling shoulder press, and a bench press. So, I'm gonna show you guys how we're gonna do this. We are gonna be down right here. So we're gonna hit a push-up and row. All right, so you guys use this, once again, all kinds of equipment. Dumbbell works really well for this, especially if you have like a hexagonal one that's not like circular, so it's not gonna roll on you. So this is great. So for this one, we're gonna go 30 seconds on each side, and we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, let's get it. So these are also known as renegade rows. So you could alternate if you want, but we're gonna make it a little bit harder by not alternating. And how's that gonna make it a little bit harder, you ask? Well, because we're doing double the amount of push-ups and rows. 3, 2, 1, and time. Good, we're gonna go ahead and switch sides. And once again, you guys can play around with resistance, grab something lighter, grab something heavier, whatever you guys are able to do, all right? And let's get to it. Brad, I see you, what's going on? Rotherham, what's going on? What else you got in here? Make it easier. If you guys need to make it easier, you guys could just do push-ups, do 10 push-ups on your own, and then so just crank out some push-ups and then hop up. And if you guys need to make it easier, you guys could do a row right here, or just in a push-up position, or bent over a couch, having your hand on a bench or stool, or anything like that. We got a few more seconds right here, so we're gonna crank it out. And time. Beautiful. So now moving up, kneeling shoulder press. We're gonna be right here. It's gonna be at our side. We're gonna press straight up and lock out by that ear. So we got 30 seconds, all right? Starting in 3, 2, 1, boom. And so why are we doing a kneeling press instead of a standing press, you might ask? Well, when we're kneeling and we have this resistance, it's gonna make us have to use our core a little bit more. We're gonna have to stabilize because we don't have as much contact as the ground. It's a little bit different when we're down. We have to really use our core to help stabilize, especially that side-to-side motion. So we're gonna be working a lot of those muscles isometrically, which is gonna be really good. We're gonna be hitting that core nice and deep, which is what we wanna be targeting, along with mainly, predominantly, targeting the shoulder in this exercise. So it's a good bang for your buck. And time, we're gonna go ahead and switch sides. And let's get it. So right here, so we're maximizing our time, right? So we could stand and just do shoulder press, but we're doing it kneeling. We're gonna be getting more core activation than if we were standing up. So we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone, or 2 stones with 1 bird. I don't judge. Good. And make sure when we do this, we're locking it out right by that ear, all right? We don't wanna half rep it or have it forward too much. We wanna make sure we're getting that full range of motion, all right? And we're gonna take it down to the bench press. We're gonna be on our back right here, pressing straight up, squeezing those pecs, boom, just like this. Once again, if you guys have a bench, perfect. This will work amazingly. Or if you guys have dumbbells, awesome. You could even do this with a barbell. You could do floor press on the ground. It's another great alternative exercise to hit that chest. Also, if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, lift your hips up, squeeze those glutes. That way, once again, you're going to be getting a 2-for-1 exercise. You're going to be working those hamstrings, your glutes a lot, so those tie in together, and a lot of chest, all right? Good. We got less than 10 seconds on the clock. Really squeeze those pecs at the top. Play around with resistance. Challenge yourself. Go a little bit heavier than you did the last round. Add a little bit more liquid if you guys have empty jugs or anything like that. And time. So we got 30 seconds. Then we're going to be getting into block 4, which is going to be ollie shuffle, burpees, and roll-ups. I'm going to show you guys how to do that before the time runs out. Before our rest rolls out. So for the ollie shuffle, we're going to be right here, one foot in front of the other. Just jumping and switching just like that, right? Burpees, everybody should know how to do burpees right here. And if you have room to jump, go ahead and jump. Roll-ups are a little bit more challenging. We're going to be right here. We're going to come back and stand up just like that. And if we're not able to do that, then you guys could just do body weight squats with a reach, right? Perfect. And so we're going to get right into it, starting in 3, 2, 1, and go. Just jump it and switch it. Right here, opposite arm, opposite leg. Staying nice and light on those feet, on those toes. Have fun with it. Move around to the side. Go forward, backward with it. Have fun with your body. Move around in the space that you do have, all right? And beautiful. Getting right into the burpees. Burpees, I want to see chest and hips touch the ground. So all the way down, pop up, jump up. Or if you need to, you can step back, lower yourself down. If you have to warm up, that's fine. If you have to step forward to get back up, that's perfectly fine also. Whatever you're capable of doing, go ahead and do that and just push yourself, all right? We got a short time on the clock. We're gonna crank out a few more before we get to those roll-ups, all right? And time. All right, let's get to the roll-ups. Remember, if you guys want to, break it in half. Do like 10 sit-ups and then do 10 squats to kind of get a combination of both of those. But if you're able to do the roll-ups, I highly recommend. It's a great workout. Works on that mobility. You're gonna be really hitting the core, the legs, while also getting that heart rate up nice and high. Especially if we can come out of it at the bottom in a real nice deep squat. And it can also be easier if you guys hold a med ball or something like that, some sort of weight in your hands to kind of help get you up, all right? And rest. So we got 30 seconds of rest. Then we're gonna be cycling through one more time from the top, warm up, core, plus the 3 blocks, all right? So enjoy this rest. If you guys have any questions real quick, go ahead, drop them down below. Also, how is everybody holding up? I know it's getting crazy. It was like snowing and stuff the other day, but I think it's hopefully gonna warm up a little bit, and we're hearing some new guidelines and whatnot. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully everything's good. Cheers with some agua. Alrighty, we got a few more seconds on the clock. I'm gonna get right back to it. So remember, for that warm up, we're gonna be doing the we're gonna be doing the squats, the toy soldiers, and the quad stretch with the toe touch. All right, so let's get to it. Starting off with the squats, we're gonna be starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Nice deep squats. I'll show you guys different side this time, so that way breaks up the monotony, makes it a little bit more entertaining to watch. We'll move a little bit. Nice and deep, and at the top, squeeze those glutes. Drive those hips forward, squeeze the glutes, get as deep as you can, back up. Remember, perfect posture, perfect form the whole time in that spine. Want to make sure that we're not rounding that back at all, getting as deep as we possibly can, targeting those hammies and those glutes. 3, 2, 1, and good. Right back to the toy soldiers, kicking up nice and high, stretching out those hamstrings. Most people tend to have tight hamstrings, tight hip flexors from sitting a lot. So we want to make sure we're doing a lot of hip stretches and a lot of hamstring stretch. A lot of work. That way we can make sure everything's getting nice and loose. We don't get too tight. We don't pull any muscles, right? We'll make sure we're avoiding that. Staying happy and healthy through COVID-19. And beautiful. So we got the quad stretch with the toe touch. Once again, grabbing the top of that foot, hinging over, touching. We got 30 seconds. Let's get it. So once again, like I just said, this is a great one for not only the quad, but it's gonna be stretching out those hip flexors as well. It's pulling it back, opening that. So think when we're sitting in a car or at work, it's locked in this position right here. So as much as we can get the hip through extension, we're gonna be really help opening that up, which is the main goal, what we wanna target. Opening up that hip, also loosening up those quads a little bit, yeah? There we go. And time, good. We got 30 seconds rest. Then we're gonna be right back to that core work, the shoulder taps, the Jayhawks, and the Russian twist for Mother Russia. So comment down below if you guys have done any super fun, exciting, awesome projects at home. Are you guys painting? Are you guys restaining floors? Are you putting up shingles? Are you putting up a fence? Are you post hole digging something in your backyard for irrigation system? Are you guys doing any at-home projects? Are you guys painting? Are you guys making a puzzle? Are you making music? Are you guys doing anything fun, different, or interesting? Which I'm sure, because everybody's got something interesting, right? So, getting right back to the core work, we got these shoulder taps. Let's get it. Keeping that core tight. Also, when we're doing these, make sure that we're not opening up and rocking to the side. We want to keep this core as tight as possible and these hips as immobile as possible, right? So I want them to stay square to the ground. I don't want them moving. So once again, if you guys want to make it a little bit more challenging, move a little bit quicker, or you guys can go nice and slow. Once again, you guys can do this flat-handed, which is what I recommend. If you go up on your fist, you have a chance of rolling your wrist. But if you have wrist problems, if it bugs you to be in this position, being on your knuckles, as long as you guys are taking your time and really focusing on it, can help alleviate a little bit of that if you guys have like a weird pain in the outside of it, right? Perfect. Moving on right to the Jayhawks. So on our back, once again, holding our resistance, sitting all the way up tall, head going through that window, making sure our legs are staying straight and flat on the ground the entire time, all right? And also, you can play around with it. You can come down nice and slow, which is what I like to do. If I'm not going for time, I'll go up as slow as I can and down as slow as I can. And that's gonna make our core fatigue very, very quick. It's a great exercise, so I highly encourage you guys to try it. Go ahead and put it into your routine. It's something a little bit different than just doing your basic sit-up. We got a few more seconds on the clock. Then we're gonna get right back to those Russian twists. And last one. Good. So those Russian twists, remember once again, feet's up, and we're rotating, hitting it side to side. Right here, just like this, reaching us back to each side as far as you possibly can, all right? So let's keep this going. Almost like you're rowing your boat, right? Imagine you got a big paddle, you're canoeing, you're going down by yourself, getting ready to go over the Grand Canyon. You're in the water, I'm sorry, Niagara Falls. You're going over the water, and you're going, you're paddling, you're trying to get away. Try to get away, rotate faster. We gotta swim away. And you got away, congratulations. You're an animal. And perfect. We got 30 seconds on the clock. Then we're gonna be back to the strength block. So the lateral lunge with the press, the reverse lunge, and the calf raises, all right? So make sure you go ahead, get a quick sip of your agua before we get back to work. We'll go ahead and get set up. We got a few more seconds of rest. We got 5 seconds on the clock. Then we're gonna be getting that lateral lunge to press, all right? And let's go. And for this, remember, we're going 30 seconds each leg, so we're not alternating. That way we're getting more work in, right? Get nice and deep, sit down and back on that hip. Play around with this resistance. Use something a little bit heavier. If that last round was too easy, last round was a little bit too difficult, go ahead and grab something a little bit lighter. Very easy to modify. That's why actually really, some of these at-home workouts are awesome. Very easy modifications. Same thing on the other side. Let's get it. Down and back on that hip. Right up. Remember, all the weights down and back in that leg I don't want any outward pressure in that knee, okay? Down and back. Almost like you're doing a single leg squat. We're just stepping into it, that's all. There you go, perfect. We got a few more seconds on the clock. Then we're gonna be getting right back to those reverse lunges. If the last round was too easy, grab something heavier, or grab something if you didn't have anything at all. If it was too hard, set it down, or just grab something a little bit lighter, and good. So, right with those reverse lunges, we're gonna be holding this weight still. That way we're still getting some extra work. Boom. There we go. Once again, these are non-alternating also. 30 seconds, each leg. Keeping our chest up nice and tall. No forward lean, no hunching. That foot stays flat on the ground. My knee's not moving around, it's not diving forward. And go ahead and switch sides. That heel staying nice and flat. Those 3 points of contact that we talk about anytime we're doing a squat or lunge or anything with our legs. 3 points of contact. Our heel, big toe and little toe, makes that upside down triangle if you were to draw it on the bottom of your foot, right? And right after these, we're gonna be cranking out those calf raises. If you have a little lip or a ledge, something you could do it on, feel free to do that also. And good, so we're gonna get right to these calf raises. So once again, up and down at a good pace, nothing too fast. We don't want our Achilles to take over, right? So up and down, nice and controlled. And calf raises is something we could really load up. So if you have a kid at home, husband, wife, brother, sister, cousin, throw them on your back, hit some calf raises. The calves can hold a lot of weight, so you guys can put a lot of resistance on there. So if you have more weight, you can throw a barbell across your back, a punching bag, heavy bags, sandbags, anything, or just your water jugs. You can hold them, set them on your shoulders, anything that you can to add resistance while we're working those calves, right? And time, beautiful. So we got 30 seconds rest on the clock. Then we're gonna be getting into the next block, which is that push up with the row, the kneeling shoulder press, and the bench press, all right? Go ahead and grab a quick sip. Remember, no guzzling that water. We don't want it to come back up while we're moving, getting our work in, all right? So, getting right into it. We got less than 10 seconds on the clock. Push up with that row, right up in push up position, hitting that push up, and hitting that row. And remember, we're gonna be going 30 seconds on each side, so that way we're getting some extra work in, all right? And let's get it. And row. All the way down, chest and chin touch, and row. And when we row, make sure that we're not opening up too much to the side like that, right? Want to keep our body nice and close to the ground, keeping that arm in nice and tight as we're hitting that row, okay? And make sure we're squeezing the side of our back when we're coming up, keeping that elbow close to the body, and we're squeezing our scaps together right there. And one more, and beautiful. We're gonna go ahead and switch sides. There you go, make sure you got a nice good hold, and all the way down, chest and chin touch, up, row. Make sure we're not opening up to the side, down, up, row. Keeping it nice and tight, body staying square the whole time. Boom, right there. Here we go, short time on the clock, let's get it. Remember, once again, push yourself each round. Try to go a little bit faster than you did the last round. We got 3 seconds, get another one. And good. So right after that, we're gonna get right to that kneeling with shoulder press. This time, we're gonna switch it up. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Instead of same arm, same side. This right here is just gonna create a little bit different of an instability than it would if I was doing it on the same side, all right? So switching it up, because variety, they say, what the people say, what the people tell me, variety is the spice of life. And if I'm gonna show you guys a side profile, I'm not hyperextending my back, I'm not arching, sticking out super far like that, right? I'm up, nice and straight. Just got a nice straight line coming up from my hip all the way up to my shoulder, blocking this out by my ear, all right? And good time, go ahead and switch sides. So we're switching legs and switching arms, pressing all the way up, full lockout. All right. Make sure we're breathing as we're doing this. If you notice me, I like to personally keep my hand on my core. That's just a mind muscle kind of connection. It's a cue that I use. I'm palpating my abdominal section, making sure it's staying nice and engaged. It's just a friendly reminder, hey, my hand's there. Make sure that we're keeping everything in this area nice and tight. That way we're getting maximum stability and we're working those muscle groups. And good time. I'm gonna go ahead and reset this clock real quick. Perfect. And we're gonna be right into that bench press. So remember, if you guys wanna make it a little bit harder, hips up so we're in that glute bridge position. And we're almost hitting kind of like a decline bench press right here. Up, squeeze those pecs, and down. So really focus on this, especially if you're using lighter weight. I really want you to focus on that mind-muscle connection. Focusing on that, going up and down, squeezing those pecs at the top. Really squeeze, down, up and squeeze. Just really focus on that muscle group, all right? I want you guys to get to learn your body, get to know your body, feel it, live it, living in an embodied experience, squeezing those pecs, getting to know our body as well as we can, all right? We got short time on the clock. 3, 2, 1, and time. Beautiful. And we're gonna be cycling through the last section one more time. So once again, that's going to be the Ollie shuffle, burpees, and the roll-ups, all right? So we're gonna be getting into that. We got about 15 more seconds of rest. Grab some quick agua. And we're gonna get right back to work. So remember, for those Ollie shuffle, we just got one foot in front, one foot behind. Just jumping and switching. Feel free to move around in your space, in your area that you got. And let's get it. So one foot in front, one foot back. Make sure we're moving those arms too. Working as much of our body as possible. Move to the side. Move back to the other side. Move forward. Move backward. Move around in all the space that we have, right? So right after this, we're gonna be getting right to those burpees. 2, 1, and good. So dropping down, all the way down, back up, and jump. And remember, the modifications, if you guys just need to come down, step back into it, and come right back up, that's perfectly fine also. If you could take it one step further, go down, hit a push-up, up, even step up if we're not able to hop, that's perfectly fine also. But if you are able to do the entire burpee, I definitely recommend it. Lots of great benefits from it. Working a lot of our body, working our chest, shoulders, tricep, core, quads, calves, ton of exercise. And time. Right back to those roll-ups. Remember, if we're not able to do the roll-ups, go ahead, break it down. Do 30 seconds of sit-ups and additional 30 seconds of squats. But if you're able to do the full roll-up, go ahead and do it. And let's do it. Staying in a ball, coming up. And once again, this could be a little bit easier if you use that weight that you had. If you have a dumbbell, a light kettlebell, a plate, a gallon of water, or a jug, anything you can use holding your arms as you're doing this, and you can whip it forward. It's gonna help with that momentum, all right? Last one, and time. Woo! Nice work. Give me some love, fist bump. Awesome work, you guys at home. Remember, I want you guys to do 3 rounds. So if you didn't pause the video, go ahead, you can pause it now. Or once we're done, you guys can go back and do another round. Make sure you're doing 3 rounds and challenge yourself, push it. Increase the resistance that you guys are using. So if you guys were using Tide last round, go ahead, bump that out of the way. Upgrade yourself. Get some Downy, all right? If that's too easy, boom, move that out of the way. If you're using a green, the light band, see how easy this stretches? See how easy it stretches? It broke. That's how easy it is. Now you can use it for a whole bunch of different exercises. If it's too easy, scrap it. Get it out of the way. Get something a little bit harder. Get the heavy band, all right? The thick one. See how hard this is to stretch? It doesn't stretch nearly as far, and it's not gonna break, right? Because it has a lot more resistance. Make sure we are consistently trying to improve and push ourselves. We're only gonna get better by chipping away every single day, all right? Going for one more set, one more rep, trying to beat our time from the previous week, just pushing it a little bit harder and harder. 1% every day, compound interest, it's gonna add up over time. We're gonna improve our strength, we're gonna improve our speed, we're gonna improve our metabolism, a ton of things, no matter what your guys' goal is. If you chip away at it a little bit day by day, you guys will be able to maximize on that and get the best return, all right? So I'll stay live for about just another minute. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead, drop them down below. Once again, you guys, please, if you guys need anything, feel free to reach out to myself or any of the other T3 coaches. And once again, like I said the other day, I hope that everybody's going in, and I want to challenge you guys, try to pick one day when you have some free time. And once again, you guys don't have to do these videos live. They're going to be embedded on Facebook and YouTube, so you guys can go back and watch these over and over whenever you want or wherever. So eventually, once all the craziness kind of settles, if you guys go on vacation and you're looking for a workout to do, you guys will be able to do this. Kenna, no problem. Thank you for tuning in. You guys will be able to pull these up at any time. But I want to challenge you guys to go ahead and try to do 3 workouts in one day, and not of the same one. So if you guys don't know, Monday through Friday, we're live streaming. 8 o'clock, we have a full body workout. 9 o'clock, we have a speed workout. And 10 o'clock, we have another full body workout. So I'm challenging you guys one day to pick just whatever day you want and do all 3 of them, okay? Because they're all going to be different, and you're going to be hitting different muscle groups. They're going to be full body, but you're going to be hitting them in a different way, different screens, and different things like that. And you're also going to be getting in that speed work, which is great. So even if you're not an athlete or you're not necessarily looking to get faster, the workouts are going to be great because they're going to be a lot of mobility involved in them, just because of the knee action, the way that you're going to have to be driving. And it's also going to be great for burning calories because you're going to be moving really fast throughout those speed workouts, all right? So go ahead and make sure you guys are checking out the other coaches, jumping in on those live streams, or revisiting whenever you guys have time, all right? So that will conclude this video. Thank you guys so much for checking in, and I hope you guys have an amazing weekend, and we will see you guys bright and early Monday morning. See ya!